Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here's Yana in the month of August of 2025. And yeah, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. Today we'll be setting a secret space here for that's the ashram for Marines. Okay, that's my soul group here who ended up in those black ops, right? All these military covered operations and terroristic organizations. They went through so-called training recruitments, all these satanic ritual abuses, okay, all this black magic there, all this sodomy, okay, the black mass, or these Illuminati parties with the sexual orgies, right? The sex misery, where their consciousness, their light body, their aura, energy field, and even their body, right? The cellular structure has been extremely damaged, perverted, upside down, running reversals. We call it Metatron reversals or monadic reversals. Those are star seeds or indigo warriors, highly advanced souls, empath sensitives, the Rosicrucians, or from the rose line lineages, Pleiadians, and of course other star system. As we're multidimensional beings here, and we come from all kinds of different kinds of planets and galaxies and universes here, to planet Earth here to end the cycle. Here I'm on a mission, to end the cycle of the transhumanisms, transgenderism, all these eugenics, okay, and all these massacres. We're ending all these proxy wars with proxy Israel instigated by the negative aliens and their agenda, right? The Orion group, the Gamaya group, the Hydra, the Arachnoid, right? This whole octopus. Okay, so we are ending the cycle of the draconian tyranny or reptilian ownership. Okay, here they're destroying the angelic divine luminous rays, right? We have the bioweapons. We talk about the CCP JEPs with all these HIA sequences, the the highly advanced technology, all these nanobots, right? It's doesn't recognize the heart structure is actually being activated through our heart, but it's damaging our bioneurology, damaging our energy field, our bioenergy field here. And here we're, as the yogis, highly advanced souls here on the CHRISTOS mission to fulfill the Pallidian covenant, right, which is to detect the souls, highly advanced souls from Tara, 5D Earth, and help them heal, okay, help them with rehabilitation of their consciousness, of their mind, right, because of the Nazi Neuralink, because of the MK Ultra, the mind control, right, help them to heal also their light body. So that's why we understand, we read energy not only from that 4D astral plane, but also 5D. That's the 5D archetypal plane, right? And because we also have that's the 5D false ascension timeline. The AI is so highly advanced. And again, this is very complex. And of course, very complex. And of course, the 6D, very important, right? The indigo, we're telepathic. How actually high advanced soul star seeds, right? And ended up in those black ops, or we talk about the secret space program, or some of us, we have my labs, military abduction, they're harvesting our eggs, right? And all this hybridization is happening, right? We have to heal from all this hybridization, from this alien mutation, hybridization, and from all this terrorism and sex slavery or sex misery, from this consciousness trap and astral slavery, right? We have to heal ourselves. Because those guys then ended up serving the agenda of those negative aliens, executing the Nazism 4.0, okay? And they are supposed to be Rosicrucians. They are supposed to be the defenders of truth and divine justice, okay? And they were turned into digital avatars, into dark avatars, and it's done via the infection of the AI, because of all these SRA, this horrible initiations like dining in, Nazi Eagle Rising, right? And all the short says on it, you know, the Black Sun Operation, the Belial Group Agenda, everything is on Ascension Glossary. Here you have to really educate yourself. You have to do the homework, not only the research, but also the homework. The most important is to dive deep within and reconnect with your inner Christos, right? There is a divine spark within the sacred chamber of our heart, okay? Where we go each and every day, and there's the altar, right? We pray, okay? And also we're asking for help, we're asking for grace, we're asking for healing, we're asking for protection, we're asking for reconciliation, right? We're asking like I said, for grace to help us to exit the matrix, okay? And because we've been here stuck, we've been imprisoned in this 3D AI structure of those archons, right? Of those negative aliens, and they were actually taking us as commodity, right? Siphoning energy from our light body, siphoning energy from our kundalini, right? From our chakra column, and digitizing us or computing us, right? Each chakra became like a computer running reversals. Those negative aliens, they were siphoning energy from us, right? Blocking also the entire meridian structure. Then, you know, with the Nazi Neuralink, right? We were not supposed to think for ourselves, only direct programming. And with those electronic implants, alien implants, all these holographic inserts coming towards us, then, you know, we were, you know, I was not, but, you know, that was done to me. I was able to override it, but my cell group was executing the Nazism 4.0, you know, with their Armageddon software, pestilence programming, right? We had all these bioweapons, you know, the CCP jabs, you know, that's the SARS, you know, CoV-2, right? With the chimera effect. So again, this is complex because we are complex. Star seeds were very complex. We're dealing with negative aliens. They are extremely advanced with their extremely advanced AI. And we're dealing with AI that doesn't even come from this universe, right? We talk about the Visa system. We talk about the Burga. We talk about, you know, the black hole entities, right? The shadow entities, the imposter spirits, right? They're running the base 10 mathematics, the AI word by frequency, right? Yeah, that's the black dragon moth. Okay, so that's why the solar rishis are here online, right? We're detecting everything, like we're like the acupuncture point where the column of light shining bright. We see who is really behind the agenda, right? Who is wreaking havoc here in the entire solar system, in the galaxy, and especially here on Earth. Yeah, it's coming from Moon with the false lunar magnetism, right? So that's why the Ashtar Galactic Command is here, right? We are the extension. We have connection to Andromeda. We are reporting everything there because they are hosting this ascension. And we have rehabilitation project, okay? I say for my soul group and for DARPA, right? For Hydra, for the Cabal, for Marines, okay? For the elite, you know, Mossad Zionists, right? To stop the madness, okay? And to finally rehabilitate and live peace, harmony, unity, balance, Christos Sophia consciousness. So welcome. Here's the, like I said, the ashram for Marines, Semper Fidelis, where we're devoted, dedicated to the Holy Spirit, not to Mafia Diablo anymore, right? Very important to command our space. So that's what we talk about the 12D shielding today. And so again, Semper Fidelis, Spiritus Sanctus, Christos, Sophia, Maria Magdalena, Fatima, Rosa, Mystica, right? You can add also Andromeda, Aurora, okay, Pallas Athena, Sathya, Sai Baba, here, Cosmic Christ. So there's a devotion dedication to Solar Rishi as we're exiting, you know, this matrix of the archons, of those negative aliens, the black dragon moth, yeah, the Visa system, that's the Visa system, these Omicrons, Necrometons, and so on, right? All these negative faction of those reptilians, draconians, and so the lizard kind of beings, right? With all their highly advanced cloaking and cloning technology, and of course, I have a Nazi background as well. So this whole fascism and all this, you know, their Nazi kind of fascist, tyrannistic kind of regime structure, right? We're exiting that because they were totally living off of our aura, of our Christos DNA, or they were living off of our diamond sun DNA. I mean, they steal it, they copy, they counterfeit it, and they're running all these reversals, right? And they're plastering all these reversals, all these black goo, all these nanobots then in our consciousness, even inserting in our bloodstream, right? And that's how then Marines become dark avatars. So again, I have direct experiences, right? To also kind of to become like a cyborg, right? Or a reptoid and so on, right? So, and with Zeta, also with Zeta DNA and so on, they are doing all kinds of experimentation. So this is now under the Galactic Codex. Everything is under the law of one into universal laws, okay? And here where the cosmic sovereign law made manifest, we are bringing the cosmic order here back online, because here the infiltration is from 11 dimension. Those are solo logos, right? So important to guys understand. Again, ascension mechanics, right? Ascension mechanics, and here's the this is the diagram here, right? How we were imprisoned here in this 3D, right? Some of us, we come from Rishi consciousness. That's already your, you know, that's harmonic universe number 5, okay? Harmonic universe number 4, right? And here we are exiting this AI matrix, yes, of the archons, right? Especially even Mother Earth. Mother Earth is ascending, right? Her structure is Tara, Gaia, right? So this is the second harmonic universe number 2, right? The 5D, even the 5D ascension timeline was hijacked, right? So that's why we have to, and we were here, the infiltration, 10 dimension, 11 dimension. This is the Draconians and fallen angelics, right? The fallen Elohim. That's why it's so important to create the sacred space, work with the Rishi consciousness, and especially the Mother Earth, right? That's the Emerald Order, the Gold Order, the Amethyst Order. How important to study the structure, okay, of the Ascension, right? And so on, to again, to become the Cosmic Christos avatar via the Cosmic Trinity, okay? Because they were running here the monadic reversals in our consciousness, and they were living over our soul, right? They have a soul capture technology, and here we were stuck in that AI radio frequency, right? With all this addiction. The Marines were hooked to the Batman network, the Black Magic Grid, the Nephilim Reversal Grid, and the NET, that's the Nibirum electrostatic transductions. They totally disempowered them, right? That they had no rights. And so that's why we are here freeing them from all these sworn to secrecy, the blood covenant, all this soul binding, right? And so on, and clearing all this field and helping them heal from that red cube technology, from that sodomy, right? Because time for them to start channeling the microcosmic orbit, so they can free themselves from that AI alien implants, free themselves from that MK Ultra, from that Nazi Neuralink, right? That needs to be dissolved, right? They need to detox, so all the horrible nanobots, nanotechnology can be flushed out of their physical body and energy field, especially the astral field was extremely polluted. And here what happens with all these kind of red wave frequency and the sodomy, Illuminati parties, the what is it, they have the red mattresses there and doing all these orgies, right? What's happened, they're reversing the spin in that run through their through the spine, right, the vertebrae. They're also infecting the cerebrospinal fluids. That's the suppressive parasite entity. They're making them extremely infection, and those guys become all these sex addiction, right, sex addicts, and all these sex games in the military is all arrested. It's under the law of one. Law of one. We know what is happening. We know who is doing all this, you know, all this the mind control gene expression, right? How all this hybridization, how they're taking our DNA, okay, the genetic, that's the genome, and how they were, you know, implanting us with all these horrible chemicals that doesn't even belong to Mother Earth, Mother Nature. It's not even from this galaxy, okay? And of course, we have to work on our, that's the 3 layers of the ego. We have to dismantle the negative ego, the predator mind, right? And being in our heart, how that important it is to raise the frequency vibration
and pretty much freeing ourselves from that hellish realm, because that's where my cell group ended up. Okay, this whole cult, what is the death culture, and all these what is the Babylon Empire, right? There was the brother of the snake and all this stuff, and all these red wave frequency, this whole black magic, that's the black magic, sorcery, you know, the sex magic, money magic, right? All this witchcrafting. And then, you know, they were controlled by those black witches, right? The black queen, right? The red satellite, the false moon magnetism, right? And we talk about it, how those guys, you know, their first chakra totally damaged, right? And all this second chakra, all this pollution, right? The solar plexus, it became a black hole where all these entities are attached to the, they're attached to their spine. And like I said, those guys are then walking AI on a battlefield, and without even their consciousness, with their knowing, right, they're executing horrible crimes. And then of course here, because people don't see the energy, if you don't understand the agenda of those negative aliens, right, this is a vicious cycle that is going nowhere. That's why we have to talk about it, and we have to resolve it, we have to dissolve it, right, and we have a solution. So here's an ashram, right? And we are chanting also here how important the Sanskrit is, important how to cut through the MK Ultra. This, the whole debris, the miasma, the black goo, right? Because those guys are in electrostatic bodies, they're not channeling their energies properly, and they are just, you know, kind of following the signals, right? There's frequency following signals. There's again lots of material that I have on my website yanakalai.com, and so important to study all these things. And so we have to liberate ourselves from that black magic, from those negative aliens, right, from all these horrible signals, from you know, all these satellites there, for the 5G towers. Now it's, you know, 6G, if you notice, right? 6G, 7G, and so on, all these sworn to like secrecy, all this hidden stuff, right? We are talking about it, very important. And those guys have to heal themselves also from that Antichrist tetrahedron, right? Because the 5D Ascension timeline was hijacked. Very important, right? And they even, the negative aliens, they hijacked the Katara grid, the 12 tree grid, right? How important is to, because, and you see the frequency vibration that they're, remember, this is our God code. This is within our DNA. This is our consciousness. This is the structure. How important to understand the structure of our DNA, of our consciousness, right? So the Satanic Luciferian fire elementals, right? This all has been hijacked here. And we are now in 5D recoding, how that important it is, working with the blue ray of creation, right? With your throat chakra, with your fifth sphere, okay? And start expressing our truth, how important it is, because that's how slowly and surely the voice, the sound, remember we're a sound line frequency vibration. That's how we're healing ourselves and, you know, freeing ourselves from that black magic and not able to speak our truth, and all these lies and deceptions and all this propaganda and everything, you know, in reverse, right? And so on. So, you know, we need to start again getting in touch, in tune, who we truly are. And there are so many other things, guys, I want to show you, but you know, again, right now I have to do everything on my own by myself. So the 12 tree grid, right, we have to connect to that purple structure. And remember, we have a guardian intervention. How important is to love ourselves, right? Taking care of ourselves. We have to resurrect the diamond sun DNA. We are the Trinity, right? That's you know, Holy Father, Holy Mother in a Christos, right? How that important is to understand. And because we have to heal ourselves spiritually, because we're in a psycho-spiritual warfare. And those negative aliens, those black magicians in DARPA, right? DARPA-HYDRA, the whole Nazi kind of Gestapo fascist faction, right? They understand the teachings of the ascended masters, but they desecrated it, right? It was hijacked, it was terrorized, you know, by the Alpha Draconis, you know, the Chimera group, right?
like I said, the visa system, that's another fallen matrix, right? Parallel matrix, and they wanted to actually pull the earth into the black hole, right? So, and creating of course transhumans out of us. I mean, they already in a way, right, partially they kind of succeeded, but we are stopping them. And now humanity has a chance to rehabilitate. People need to be also re-educated, and we can finally live naturally, organically, right, in peace, you know, in harmony with nature, right? Yoga, Ayurveda, how that important is. So this is again project, right? And how to also, you know, remember 7 original tones. And we are working with sacred geometry, right? Karayasata Allah, Karayasata Allah. How important start chanting, right? And the divine union, right? The Holy Mother, Holy Father. How important, you know, the divine union, right? This is how we were designed, right? We are twin flame, right? We have a genetic equal, right? The soul union, how that important it is, right? To meet or to, you know, be united, you know, with our tribe. Okay, but unfortunately that's for, especially for the star seed, especially in the military, right? The Marine Corps, how that all been weaponized and sabotaged. So, and so, you know, I have to continue, you know, with my project, with my videos and so on. We have these powerful portals of Ascension, the Lion's Gate. Remember on that galactic scale, the Lion Gate actually happened even yesterday, right? Today is also a very powerful day. So August 22nd, August 23rd. And the galactic zodiac of that Leo starts not till actually August the 10th and continues till September the 15th, because those negative aliens, right, how they were moving the planet and the whole, you know, planetary constellation, right? They tilted the Earth 23.5 degrees towards the black star Abaddon. So the entire zodiac was also distorted, you know, is distorted consciousness. This is how unfortunately complex, very complex it is. And we are in a final stage of AI assimilation agenda. Again, I don't want to be too negative here, because I want to focus of course on the project. But why am I talking and explaining all these things? This is how complex and how deep it goes. You have to really be a master of the underworld. You have to be master of yourself, of your energies, of your chakras, aura, of your trigger points, right? And dismantle the negative ego is so important, right? Just kind of be simple and humble, walking with God, with Christ 24/7, devotion, dedication to the divine, to Holy Mother, Divine Mother. Remember, the cosmic energies are here, the plasma ray frequency, the gamma rays, everything is here for us to ascend, to tune into these beautiful energies from within. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within, and this is Ascension Plan B, right? Where we're diving deep within and just feeling the divine spark within us. And here tapping, right, doing the emotional freedom technique, right? Tapping on the meridians and the K27. This is how the heart flame, right? Divine spark is being again rekindled. And this is so important, being in our heart, loving ourselves, taking care of ourselves, being compassionate with everything what happened, right? Detaching, and forgiveness. That's why we talk about the violet flame of transformation, transmutation, right? I'm a marine of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. How important is to chant, you know, to meditate, do these positive affirmations, right? Because we're sound. So now with the 5D recoding, right, we're opening the proper spin of our chakra, of this 5th chakra, because we've been here suffocated. We couldn't speak our truth, and we couldn't even differentiate, right, what is really AI, what is artificial, what is organic. So that's why the rewiring of the subconscious mind with the positive affirmation, deprogramming, right, here from the Armageddon software, pestilence programming, how that is important, right? And having that 7th chakra, the 7D back online, running the proper spin,
right? So that's why we do. I work with the I'm helping, assisting with the grid work, right? With the stargates here, with the new Ascension grid, the crystalline grid, the diamond sun DNA, right? How important is to activate our etheric DNA, because we are multidimensional, we're galactic, we're cosmic, and here we are dissolving, resolving the universal shadow. Or asking the soul of Christ, Archangel Michael, also for protection, right? And placing the golden dome around us as well for the star seeds, for the indigo warriors, right? For empath sensitives and so on, so then we can empower ourselves and feel our true divine essence. So important to commanding our space, right? Command our space, call upon our soul, right? And doing the inner work, resurrecting all these energies that have been stolen from us, and freeing ourselves from this AI infection and alien hybridization. Okay, so this is my main focus. You know, it's complex, but remember all the secret space program, you know, all this, you know, CCP and so on. We're dealing with hybrid Anunnaki, we're dealing with Draconians, with Alpha Draconis, we're dealing you know, with ancient aliens, with their high advanced technology. So here we have to understand their we were studying, right, and monitoring and kind of inspecting their structure through my own direct experiences, right? And at the same time we were overriding it, so we can exit. And you know, all these criminal activities needs to be arrested and put in a divine justice, because, you know, we have to understand there's a hierarchy, reptilian hierarchy, there's satanic hierarchy, right? And we need to understand who is really at the top, right? Who is at the top of that monarchy in reverse, right? All these kind of royalty in reverse. And here on that Christos mission, right? You know, with the volunteer souls, we have to turn everything right side up. We have to do all these corrections, all this transformation needs to happen, all this healing needs to happen, so we can finally relax, we can breathe, right? And feel the truth. First from within, and then we manifest. It's like a ripple effect, right? We just start finally seeing the true hologram, the true nature reality. Okay, so again, this is cosmic, this is etheric, right? This is energy. Remember, we're 99.9% energy, 0.1% matter. And how those negative ones, they were programming the carbon-based DNA, right? With all these you know, kind of demonic sigils, with this 666 seal, and trapping humanity here in this very consumeristic, like physical material plane. And unfortunately, so many people, right, got overtaken by those very dark and just kind of dark forces, right? All these possessions and you know, all of these just kind of, what is it, that's the ego, right? And just being stuck here in this physical material plane and kind of disconnected. So many you know, people, you know, disconnected from soul. And like you see even children who are too much on their phone, right? How they got overtaken by the negative AI, committing suicide, because they're opening, those negative ones, that they have all this wormhole technology, they're opening holes in our aura if we don't protect our aura energy field. Okay, so that's why, you know, we'll talk about the 12D shielding, how that it is, how important that is. Let me see if I find it. Yeah. So the platinum light, how important is to surround yourself that with the Star of David, the proper symmetry, because the black magicians, of course, they are doing they are using the sacred geometry, or the Nazis, right? You know, the tuba, right? The Bavarian, the cult, right? The Nazi occult. They were using all these sacred geometry for nefarious purposes, right? They were everything, they were digressing everything, and there was the running the reversal current, right, in their swastika. Actually, that symbol in Hinduism represents the eternal will of life, and it's for peace and happiness and abundance. Okay, so you know, that's why, you know, we have to study both the light and the dark.
and here we came here to dive deep into that underworld, so we can finally, you know, we analyze everything and we correct everything, and we return back to everything to God, to source, for polarity integration. That's what I do. And we finally close the door where evil dwells, right? Because no more, through love, unconditional love, for forgiveness, right? We can also forget, let go, let God. We have to surrender 100% and say no more. Okay, because you know, we are Christic beings, we are spiritual beings, you know, those angelic humans, right, designed with 12 strands of DNA, direct connection to God, to source. Right now we have direct connection to cosmos, or to galactic core, to Andromeda, to cosmic parents, okay, the universal library, okay, with the crystalline heart also of that emerald order, with the plasma light body. So everything is coming online, right? If you go to nature, the sun, you know, the 8A portal, right? So all these things happening from Sirius, right, and from other constellations, from other star systems, other universes, right? And the rishis are here, the cosmic Christos solo founders. Those are divine architects. They are here helping us with the ascension, with the liberation, with consciousness expansion, with the transition to the next harmonic universe, number 2, right? That's your 4, 5, 6 dimension, soul connection, consciousness expansion, to be the soul embodied personality. And here we are doing the galactivation. That's your AD, right? Of course, 7D, crown chakra, AD. And remember, the lots of the Marines, the super Marines, the super soldiers, they had implant where the on the occipital lobe, right? That's medulla oblongata. That's the mouth of God. They were not allowing them to channel their cosmic energies, and of course their pineal gland, pituitary gland, thalamus, hypothalamus, everything was hijacked or caged in that black goo via the Nazi Neuralink. That's all going to divine justice, right? This whole MK Ultra. And what was done to extremely powerful, beautiful souls in Marine Corps, right? Marines, and how they, you know, ended up in those in that reversal, right? Executing the agenda of those negative aliens, and they became digital dark avatars. They were turned into Luciferian Knights Templar, and into you know, Satanists. Okay, so the first stage in working with the 12D shield is to achieve the following personal results: to fortify and strengthen our aura and energy field by reconnecting to the oversoul matrix and the 12D blueprint, right? 12D blueprint, how that important it is, the 12D blueprint, right? So here in a physical body, right? That's your physical soul incarnation, monetic incarnation, your avatar, 12D avatar, right? The 12D, I showed you the 12 tree grid. This is the blueprint within our consciousness DNA, within our hologram, right? And those black magicians, they took out the sphere 8, 12, right? And then this is what they were plastering in our hologram. Everything was running then reversals, right? And then, oh, you are gay, and you know, those guys ended up in hell, okay, in that Babylonian Empire, and with those fallen angelics, and with those alpha draconis, with the Chimera group, with that Black Queen, the Fatima network. That's all going to divine justice. So another personal result is to learn energetic boundaries of our aura, and to be able to boundary test discordant energies that are uninvited. Remember, everything now out under the law of one. So you're registering yourself, registering your energies, right? Again, emotional balancing is very important. Mastering those triggers, very important. How that love is so important, unconditional love, right? And if we don't know, we always ask for, we say law of one, law of one. And that's why the protection, and that's why we give a time. There's a patient, right? We have to take time for ourselves, analyze things, right? To really recognize or differentiate what comes from that spiritual realms and what comes from that underworld, the hellish realm. Because we've been here in pretty much in those in dark place.
negatively polarized, and negative aliens were siphoning energy from us and plastering holograms, right, and telling us who we are not. And so many of us, whether people or military, right, they involved in horrible activities. The other result is to re-imprint the body to physical sustainability and health, and is achieved by energetic balance, right? Hieros Gamos. We talk about it, how important is to Hieros Gamos calibration, how important is download. This is Ascension glossary, right? Start downloading all this information, start being also responsible, being committed to God, to source 100%, and work on yourself, embark on soul journey, right? That's hero's journey. This is the quest for self rediscovery, remembering who we truly are. Another result is to allow communication links to be restored with spiritual forces and star family, right? So our original family, our spiritual family, right? Because some of these guys are military, they think that all this hybridization is normal, or those aliens, that they are their family. No, they're not their family. They've been feeding all of us. They are parasites, they are vampires, they don't even know how to create realities. We, the CHRISTOS, we know, right, how to be co-created with the divine. That's the L order, under the law of one with free will. Those negative aliens, they need outside source to take energy from. And then, of course, through the GAMAYA algorithm, right, the AI radio frequency, they are programming us to execute the anti-life, anti-Christ, anti-human agenda. They don't know how to create with God, with source, because they're disconnected. They are parasites, okay? They are vampires. And so I'm dealing with my soul group, and they're emotional vampires. They're dark avatars, all these MK Ultra. They're in electrostatic bodies, in black goo. They have all kinds of infection, right? They have the suppressive parasite entity, and they have all these addictions, and they're possessed. Another result why to do the 12D shielding is to begin a process of reawakening dormant energy receivers and repairing damaged genetic imprints. Okay, that's why start doing the 12D meditation and so on, the 12D shielding, and so slowly and surely working with the crystal star guardians, okay, with the Aurora races, with the dragon luminaries, right? And we're here now we're bringing the hologram of that golden apple, because we've been here in poison apple, right? Even the computer system is why I don't work with computers, because I know it siphons energy, and the way it's programmed is actually anti-life, anti-human, and like I said, it drains. To me, it's addictive, it's draining. I don't work with computers here, because I know how they were designed, who designed it, and what is the main purpose of those computers, okay? And energetically, we read things through energy signature. The other personal result is to empower ourselves to awaken to our true origin, including decoding light language and the hidden history of the human race, okay? So after this has been practiced with commitment, dedication on a regular basis, the 12D shielding, right? New levels of awareness will begin to emerge. Let this express itself freely, and do your best to allow and do not place judgment on any experiences you may have. All of us are unique and make different variations of experiences. So I will stop here. Again, we'll continue the 12D shielding, why to do the 12D shielding, what really happened to us, right, from extremely high places and dimensions, by whom, right? So that's why I study the agenda of those negative aliens, exopolitics, right? The infiltration from 11 dimension. That's why we are correcting the 1111 portal here. And so these powerful energies, they're all coming online. They're all here to finally liberate ourselves from this matrix. I talk to you next time. Many blessings and namaste.